Hey, you guys, it's me, Ken the Dawn. I just wanted to come on really quick. Well, I don't know. It might not be really quick today. Um, it may be some time. It may take us some time to fully get through this one. I wanted to talk to you guys today a little bit about my story, where I come from, what I have been doing, um, and what I am doing, uh, and why we are young money muggles. Sometimes we lose track of our why, and sometimes we get so caught up in doing a lot of different things um, that it's just okay to just stop. It's okay to just talk. It's okay to just help people. It's okay to just be real for a moment. So I just want to start. Um, I know a lot of people that are added to the group right now are family, friends, business partners, people who I've begun to learn and know from years or high school, whatever it is. Um, but I grew up here in Baltimore, Maryland. I grew up in a single family home. My mom was a correctional officer um, at the time of me first being, well, not first being born. She wasn't in corrections. She was actually a single mom. Like I said, she was 18 years old or 16 years old having me. So she wasn't even able to left. Her first job was McDonald's. All right, so I'm born. We're at my grandmother's house, and my grandmother worked for social services. So she worked for social services. However, that wasn't uh, enough, I guess to say. So she was an entrepreneur herself. So she actually sold cakes and desserts. She actually planned events. She traveled a lot. My grandmother loved to travel. So that's where I got that entrepreneur background and foundation. When we moved out from there, from Glen Burnie, we moved to Baltimore. So I was in Glen Burnie for the beginning of my life. Public um, suburban schools, things of that sort, that type of lifestyle. And then around the age of 7 or 6, around six, 7, we ended up in Baltimore, Maryland, Pennsylvania Avenue, the trenches. Shake and Bake was right across the street from us. That whole area, you guys. So I don't know if you're familiar, but if you are in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, then you understand and you know. So we had basically, um, I'm trying to properly, because I knew I was going to have my story, but I didn't. I guess I wasn't as ready for it as I thought I would be. Um, we were, like I said, my mom by then she got into corrections. So as she got into corrections, um, we were just I was the oldest out of three. So me being the oldest at 7, I was left to take care of everyone, babysit, uh, all of those things. So there wasn't much parental supervision, and then when there was family, cousins, people like that. um, However, we weren't always in such a great safe environment. So one of our family friends, I actually end up um, being inappropriately used and touched often under his supervision, and so that caused a lot of mental illness and disturbances at a young age. I was very, 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 very frustrated, confused, just not knowing where to go, um, not knowing what to do, and keeping that in, and then actually starting to be in my father's life, and he is down south um, in North Carolina. I have family there, so going down there and being down south where family is supposed to be trusting and such, the same patterns begin to happen. So then I begin to very just secluded, inclusive. I never went out. I never liked people. I never liked the out. I never liked, even being touched. Like my mom, she never understood why I would not let her hug me and things that sort. It's just uh, growing up, that was just one of those challenges that um, that came. I'm not gonna say that came with the package, but that's what I had to deal with growing up. That was what my story, my struggle began. Uh, then from there, just already having that inward low self esteem. Then you're getting into high school. You're getting into where you, like I said, single home. You're not wearing the nice fashion. You're more of a brains kid than you are a fashion kid. So then that's when the bullying comes in, and that's when the picking and the name calling and then all that. So then your self esteem's already here, but then it just completely dissipates at that time. So there was a moment in my life. I believe I was like 11 or 12. My mom was yelling and screaming at me because I tried to kill myself in the car. She went to the grocery store, and it was me and my little sister in there, and I just was so much going on in my mind and not saying anything. Um, I just couldn't take it. So it was a wire hanger. I'm smiling, I guess, to not cry on camera. Like I said, I thought this was going to be very easy, but so yeah, she's screaming, yelling because my sister told on me, and you could see the marks and stuff. Because my sister basically stopped and tried to help me. You're 12, you're small, you're sitting in the back, you just let your weight hang on the hanger. I was ready to go. I was just over it. Um, so from there, I'm already with my grandmother more often on weekends and for school and things of that sort. So I'm around prayer. She was a very religious woman. She still is. She just has dementia now, so it's not always. She wants to go to church, but it's not always time to go to church. So, but I grew up in prayer. I grew up around that atmosphere of church and things of that sort. So I always began to be very spiritual. So for me, on a spiritual sense, I was almost in a way where it seemed like you were tormented because you would start to see things growing up in a deliverance church. So we believed in the casting out of devils and things like so. So you would see stuff manifest. You would see things happening in the spirit realm. As a kid, you'd be told, plead the blood and things of that sort. So you're already growing up with a lot, just a lot going on all around you, and then a lot going on inside of you. So I got heavy into God at a young age. I gave my life to God, and I got really, really heavy into the Word, into Christianity, praying, um, and then I got introduced to, uh, so from that, I got into being a really good exhorter at church. So there would be times where just the anointing would be high, and I would get in service and stand up and begin to exhort and encourage and speak to the people at 11, 10, 11, 12. And that was just because of my personal prayer time with God was beginning to overfill into my life. So from there, it went into me being ordained as a junior minister at 13. So at the age of 13, I was an ordained junior minister. Had my first sermon. My dad came all the way from North Carolina. My grandfather, a crazy caveat kind of ish. So before I was born and my mom was pregnant with me, my grandfather gave my mom and my grandmother an ultimatum. He said, either you abort him or I'm gone. It is now November 11th, 2020. I'm here. Unfortunately, he has passed, but he did stick to that. He left. So my grandmother was stuck to raise my aunt and my mom. And then they come to find out that one of the kids that they were hanging out with was their brother. So then my uncle was introduced in the mix. For years, they're playing with him, thinking that he's just a friend, and he's actually a sibling. So it's just a lot of rejection, dysfunction, and things already from the root. Okay, so growing up, once I fell in love with Jesus and I found God, it was actually a true story. What started it for me, I can remember it. I was, I thought it was real life, but it was a vision. It was a dream. I realize it now, but it was a dream. I was walking next to my grandmother's house, was my school. So I was walking home from school, and you could see it looked like a rocket was coming down. You know how the rocket looks when it's going up with the clouds and just that pressure, just like so it looked like that, but coming down. So when it came down, boom, it hits the ground, and it's just like clouds and wind. And he's like, "Tell my people I'm coming. Tell them I'm coming." So that was my like first encounter or whatnot with God. And like I said, at a young age, I'm 11, 12 when this happened. So I just got really fascinated with Christianity and with Jesus and with it was more personal for me then. So I prayed a lot. Like you would find me in prayer for hours, and reading God's word. I got into books like these books I have up here, Apostles and Prophets and the Coming Moves of God. Was My church was under CI. My family's church was under CI at first, so I got into that. So we got blood, the currency of the spirit world. So how Jesus paid it all. It's just a lot. Okay, I have a lot of books and things that I just got into this binge of where I just read, and I did a lot, and I just did everything. So from there, it went to, like I said, me being ordained as a junior minister, and then I was in the youth, helping with that, working with that, building with that, cultivating with that. So we helped a lot with youth. Um, we helped a lot with uh, sorry, little guys whining, trying to see if they're gonna get themselves together. Sorry about that. Got to multitask. Be a dad as well. No matter how much you leave up signs and such. Um, so yeah, from there into ministry, heavy ministry, and then from there, um, I got into community. It was me helping out in the community. It was me being out and working at my first job was working at a community center. So I volunteered, but it ended up working towards it was a job, and they were giving me money and such after a while because I was there for so long that it was like commitment. And this was before I was 18, 16, 14, 15, 16. That's where I was. So doing that, helping the youth, helping the young people, and then from there, it caveated and went off into me interning for the sheriff's department. So then I interned for the sheriff's department. I actually saved the sheriff's department from what it was going to be. So, meaning uh, the sheriff's department canceled its internship with our school because the kids were just so bad. They were just so horrible. Like no one cared for it. No one liked it. No one was like, yeah, we're done with this school. So I actually sent an extensive email and my resume. I didn't even have like a resume, but I was working at the community center. So I had a lot of recommendations and I was really pushing to be there. and I made myself there. The first day I got fired, so I was hazed or whatever, and it was just I was hurt, I was down, I was out, and then they called me like late that night, like, how bad do you want this? And I'm like, yeah. So I went back the next day, and that's when I started, and I ended up staying a whole lot longer. I think a few more months longer than I needed to, because it was just that much of a community, that much of a fellowship, that we actually enjoyed each other very much, very, very, very much. So from there, it was like, okay, you're starting to get into that professionalism. You're starting to get into that excellence of things, understanding law, understanding government, all of that. Um, so let's work on you getting into that field. And at that time, I had an uncle who was really, really like a mentor in my life, really helpful. So he was helping me, and the first thing he said, okay, well, you got to get ready for the academy. So in order to get ready for the academy, you need to get a job so that you can, be ready for this, that, or like we had a whole plan. So I ended up working at Chick-fil-A. Got a job at Chick-fil-A, and I was gonna stay. That wasn't my intentions. Wasn't going to stay. That's what I was trying to say. My intentions wasn't to stay at Chick-fil-A. My intentions was to use that to become a cop. Like use that to save money, have a house, apartment, whatever I was going to do, and then from there, boom, I have my own, and then we're good. Um, but me getting good in Chick-fil-A, I'm traveling, opening up stores, and I get a call, or not just a call. I had thousands of texts and hundreds of texts from everyone trying to call me because I was away traveling. I didn't pay attention. Your uncle is dead. Uncle Black is dead. And I'm like, what? So I show my uh, trainer bosses, or whoever you want to call them, and I'm like, I gotta go, and they let me go, and I get home, and um, I get there, everyone's still crying, still like everything's still happening, still going on, and it was just that's when my life just shifted. It shifted from me focusing on police academy and focusing on other things to just going down a whole spiral. Just um, I end up getting into marijuana and whatever anyone wants to call it. At that time, for me, that was something that I said that I would never do, or and things of that sort. So alcoholism. Before I was even 21, I was drinking. My uncle died. I just couldn't handle it. He, like I said, he was my confidant, my mentor. He was the one that kept me on the road. So from there, I'm just living now. I'm just existing. Okay, so I'm here at Chick-fil-A. I'm just existing, but at the time, I'm doing well, and I'm making good. So now I'm GM. I'm general manager. I'm managing the place. I'm running the people, all of that. And I let my pride, I let ambition, and I let my own visions and dreams get ahead of me too quick. So I end up losing that. And right when I lose that, I'm about to get married, y'all. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think. 3 weeks. 3 weeks before I'm getting married, I lose my job. So now I'm already trying to provide and be and do. But now you take the job away. So as in you take the job away, you take our confidence away. You take our stride away, you take our vision away. Sometimes, or at least I was. I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm gonna be honest. Uh, so now I'm just boom. I'm done. My wedding, it was sad, y'all. Just to think about this stuff. I have a piece of paper right here to try to pace everything. But even thinking about it, it was sad because I wasn't even happy. 3 weeks before my wedding, I lose my job. I'm just getting to meet the parents because they're out of state. So now everyone's coming in to meet me. How you doing? What you do? What's going on? And it's, oh, I don't work, but you about to get married. You know. Um, by the way, I'm not even 21 yet. I turned 21 a few months after we got married. So no guidance. No, this is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. Trauma back to back. Uh, all of these things going on, and I just completely lost it. Okay, I completely lost it, and I started to fully not be myself. So I'm already dealing with my uncle's death, passing, not getting therapy, not getting any help for that because I was the one at that time being so helpful for others and helpful to others that I didn't realize that I was bleeding and I was dying out. I was so used to helping and so used to um, growing up in a culture of leadership and being the one to always serve and give. I did not take the time to take care of myself. Um, so a year into our marriage, where well, let me back up a little bit. 2 days before, the day after, not the 2 days before, the day after I lost my job, I'm pregnant. Now, I'm okay with that because as a man of faith at that time, I didn't want to shack up. So we got married in May. So we got married before our actual wedding, and I was cool, because of course we had to consummate that. So I'm all right. We got a baby. That's fine. But I was not expecting, and I was not prepared and ready for it all to be back to back to back. So lose my job, got a baby, and we're getting married in 3 weeks. No money. How are we gonna do this? So I get introduced to Prime America life insurance. In the midst of doing that, I am also working at temp agencies, being a warehouse lead, trying to really push into there. So this was around 2015, 2016. I think we got married 2016. 2016, Primerica. I'm going to take these tests. I'm referring people so I can get money. That's how I was getting my money. And then it was like, I'm going to take this test so I can get the life insurance. Let's do this. All right. We go start the trainings, and it just, the fear of taking a test, the fear of tests just got me. And I failed. I failed. You could do it again, but I just didn't want to fail again. And I had the fear of failing. So I just dropped it and I said, whatever, I'm not doing it. I give up. So I give up. I let it go. And then out of nowhere, a few months later, I get introduced to credit repair. So now we're doing credit referral. I'm referring people for this credit services, and then I'm getting paid for that. So then from there, I'm still trying to work 9 to 5s, but they're not really staying stable and consistent for me. So from there, I go to you do credit repair. Now we're doing trade line credit, where you have good. If you have good credit, they put people on your credit cards, and then it helps boost their credits. But I don't have good credit myself. So now I had to be the product of the product. Okay, so I had to buy it and be in there. So I at that time could not afford it because my life was just it was just too much. Okay, it was just too much going on. So I'm just still referring, but I'm not getting anything done myself. Okay, so I'm still referring, still doing, and in that time, like I said, I've learned the laws. I've learned now that there's seed time and there's harvest. I learned that if you plant something, yeah, in 6 years you might have fruit from it, but in the first few months you won't have fruit. So in those first few times, in the first few beginnings of me starting this credit referral and such, I'm not getting really that much fruit from it. Like I'm getting money, but it's not to where it's like substantially paying the bills, and then I have to work my 9 to 5. So I wasn't focused as I could have been then. I wasn't 100% invested as I could have then. And then my sponsor and my upline person, they weren't as committed. So it just dropped. Okay. It just fell out. So then from there, because it fell out, I don't have a job. I'm working, but it's not consistent. I'm doing temp agencies. I have a job and then I'm losing it just because I don't even like them or whatever. Because it was hard for me at that point. I'm Chick-fil-A. I'm used to a certain way. And then coming under people who are just bleh, I just couldn't handle it. And then I'm like, oh, instead of dealing with it, I would be like, oh, you're wrong. And I would leave. So I just left. Okay. I left. And now that I leave these places, I have a whole child at this point. I have a whole family at this point. And as a man, I can't be the one leaving. I can't be the one just dropping constantly and letting stuff go and just not having that responsibility. Um, so from there, uh, another year goes by, same cycle of stuff, or not even a whole year. Yeah, a year goes by. A year. Yep, a year goes by. Uh, I'm going to visit family, and um, I'll let you know when I'm coming back. Or you just buy my ticket this time. This is what it was. You buy my ticket this time. Okay, cool. That time comes around, and it's I'm not coming back home. Um, yeah, I can't do this. So as a man, everything is ripped from you. No, no child, no job, no wife now, no family, nothing, no home, no car, nothing. You have nothing. I've lost everything. I lost my cars in repos. Uh, we didn't have a place because my credit was shot because of the repossessions. The credit cards I had, I wasn't managing right, so those was paying bills instead of being there for extra help and opportunities and such of that sort. So it was just chaos and dysfunction. Um, so from there, I'm trying to get on my feet, improve, and win my family back, and get a car, get my own place, all of that. And there was a point where it just something broke in me, um, and I gave up. I gave up completely. I said whatever. I let it go. Um, I just stopped. Um, I was back to square one again, drinking, smoking, doing nothing but that. To where though now I developed ulcers because stressing, then drinking, and nothing on your stomach but acid and alcohol, and then it's just creating, just like I said, just unnecessary harm, unnecessary turmoil for your life. Um, so from there, I've just given up. Now, shout out to my sister. I love you. I love you so much because I gave up, depressed, didn't want to live. My room was dark. Like when I tell you, they say divorce makes you feels like death. It does. And when you're already going through mourning and losses already, back to back losses, because then at that time I get divorced, or we're in the process of divorce, and then my little cousin who was like a brother to me, like grew up, we both were same almost same age, grew up together. He dies of seizures, and then my godmother dies like a week and a half after him. So it was like waves after waves after waves after waves, and it was just like I give up. I was trying to hold on, trying to fight, and 2 months in, hey, you're on child support. I'm not working. I'm trying. I'm doing Lyft and Uber. I'm doing what I can, but y'all really going what? So now I'm really just done. Not even 22. Just I'm I didn't have no guidance, nothing. So I just gave up. I just let it all go. Let my apartment go. The car that I just got again, someone who helped me, I let that go, ruined relationships because I just couldn't handle the pressures of everything, trying to be okay, trying to keep saying that I was fine and have this facade up. Um, I just couldn't do it anymore. Um, so now I'm back at my mom's, square one again. At this time, I was already told you would not be allowed back. So to be there was like on edge, on nails, because you're like, I'm not allowed here. I'm not allowed here. So you're like, okay, I don't want to be around and be in an environment where I'm not welcome, even if it's supposed to be home. So I'm on this mindset of I gotta get out of here. Okay. So I forget how, but somehow um, I get onto somebody's Facebook and they invite me to this church. So I'm not going at my church that I was ordained at, in the family church, whatever. And I go just because I just wanted to see, just wanted to just wanted to go to church. But at that time, I was still just tore down, tore up. So I went to church drunk, y'all. I was drunk. Like, I mean, I wasn't drunk, falling over, but I was drunk to where as though you could smell it, and I thought I couldn't be smelled, but I definitely now look back on it. I'm like, dude, I was talking to somebody, but I'm like, dude, Jesus. So from there, we're in service. Service is good, and they call up all of the new people, new first time visitors. And she was my apostle. She starts to pray for everyone, and she gets to me, and I literally feel like this power that just pow just hits me like I've never felt it. And I'm just on the ground weeping and crying, and she's just going at it over me, and I'm just like I'm crying, I'm gone. I was out for a minute. I know I was out for a minute because I looked at the vibe for a while so that I could hear what she said because I was out. And yeah, I was out for a long time. So I get connected with this church now. So I'm now at this church, and I'm starting to really enjoy it. I'm going often. They have these Bible studies. I'm going. They have an entry class for first time visitors. So I mean, not first time, for first people when you first join, they have like an entry class. So they have this, and it was just like so much excellence, so much things that were different from what I was used to. And I guess it was because I was used to working it. I wasn't used to someone serving me and giving me the services. So now I'm in love. I'm just like, oh, you know, and I get around this community of people who genuinely care for you, genuinely want to see you better, genuinely want to see you grow. Still not working. So from there, I start house hopping because I don't have rent for my mom's house. So I'm house hopping. So I'm at godmother's house, this person's house, wherever I needed to be to get sleep and go where I got to go. That's what I was doing. So somehow, or not somehow, we had a new series. Now that I think about it, we had a new series at church, and I got caught up in just worship. And my leader, my apostle, she called me out and began to pray over me. And she began to declare 90 days of suddenlies over me. And at that time, I wasn't working or anything. So I ended up getting a job, AutoZone delivery. I had quit smoking. So that was kind of what helped out because I quit smoking, and then I'm praying and I'm like, okay, God, I'm doing what I feel as though I should be doing. I need your help. What? So I get the job AutoZone. I'm AutoZone delivery driver. That was good for me then. Okay. So now I'm on child support. We get that squared away. So I'm working, paying child support, and it's just killing me. It's not enough. It's killing me. And at that time, I had someone in my life who was kind of like a pseudo mentor, someone just talking to me, and they're like, "You need to get another business." And I'm thinking like I don't really know what I could do, and they're like, "Get your own business, get a home based business, have your own EIN, stuff like that. The government can't take your money from you because you have to pay employees, all that." Like they were just giving me all this advice, and I'm like, okay. So I didn't manifest that then, but time goes by. So now 2000, it's at the end of 2017, 2018. So it's like 2018, the beginning of 2018. Um, and I get into MWR, Make Wealth Real. Uh, so the person who sponsored me, the person who was over them for the other credit business, I got connected with her, and I started doing the credit repair again. Well, it wasn't credit repair. This was more NWR, so it's a whole lot more. Okay, so they not only have experts to help you with your credit and such, but they have tax experts to help, especially with your business and especially with just different questions or things that you may have filed on your taxes wrong. They're there to help you, and you can just get that whole squared away and fixed and changed out. So I'm part of MWR now, and they're teaching you have to be a product of the product. So I'm working now, and instead of me not buying into the product, now it comes with the services too. So you buy into the business, and now you get the services too for free. So now I sign up for the product. I'm a product of the product, and now I'm going through credit repair. Okay, they give me my letter or my date of when I will be debt free if I pay all this off, if I continue to do this, do that, do this, third. So now we're going down. We're doing these, and I get a call. Your dad is getting out of jail. I'm going to see him. Do you want to come? I'm 23 at this time. 23, about to be 24. And I hope I got my ages and dates right. Lord Jesus. Yeah, I'm 23, about to be 24. And something in me just wanted to see. I haven't seen him since my first sermon. Like since then he went to jail. So it was like he went back to jail. Like he was already in jail and he got out and then he went back. So it was like, well, he's gone again. So I went down to North Carolina, got connected to my family, got connected to the culture, got connected to the food, got connected to the people, and I decided I'm staying. So I stayed. So now I stay. A month before was the launch of the business, and then a month ahead of me was the launch for the southern part of the business in North Carolina. So I'm like, I'm already in North Carolina. I want to do this. So I'm trying to get into that, but I didn't have any opportunity because I wasn't saving what I was investing. I was just investing my money into businesses and investing my time into the trainings, into the learning. But then I wasn't following up. I wasn't talking to people. I wasn't networking. I wasn't going out there and getting people to be interested, seeing people who were already interested in these services and just connecting them to it. So it's like, okay, that's not, I'm not being consistent. And then I move locations. So now I'm in North Carolina. So now I'm in North Carolina, starting over again. So now I'm starting over. And in that time of getting back with my family and understanding true family and how you can have disagreements and you can not agree and it's to be okay and you can still come back together and they can tell you something about you and it can hurt you and it's okay and you can grow from that, to be around true family like that. You fuss and you can still sit down and have dinner, and talk about your feelings truly and genuinely. Like there was a lot that I learned in that year and a half of being down there. So I was down there, um, and while I was down there, I'm working now at Food Line, grocery store manager. I'm doing it. I'm happy. Uh, Working the business as well on the side. So now I'm starting to be more consistent. This is where Young Money Muggles comes in. Okay, this is where the beginning of Young Money Muggle comes in 2 years ago. I'm just consistent with it called Ken's Corner at that time. and my motivational Fridays are my refill Fridays. Okay, so we're doing refill Fridays every Friday. I'm coming on Instagram TV. Instagram TV was just coming out then, so I'm coming on Instagram TV every Friday, and I'm talking to you guys about MWR and the credit and how you can get your credit together. Now we're doing events. We're going out. This was pre-COVID, okay? So we're going out and we're going to events and we're recruiting people. We're talking to people about credit and getting their credit, and not only getting their credit, but getting an instant pay raise, because when you're understanding how to have a home-based business and how to file your taxes a certain way, then you can get your money back, and then you can get a instant pay raise from changing your tax brackets and things of that sort. So you there was a lot that I began to learn, and my mind began to be opened up to wealth and opening up to that world. Then we get full circle back again, and they're like, "You want to get life insurance? Life insurance? We're doing credit. I don't need to focus on that right now. I'm focusing on building my credit right now. Like, that's what I need." Then it's life insurance. So that fear comes back. That fear comes back of, I failed the first time. Now I have to do this again, y'all. So I do the life insurance test and I pass. I passed, and it was the most liberating. I think I was crying. I was at Food Line at the time, and I was on break. What's the oh Lord? What is that place? I can't even think of the place anymore. They have good subs. Okay, it was right across the street. So I'm getting a sub. I'm just looking at my email, and I see the email saying congratulations, and I open it up, and it's saying everything I need to do and such. I'm like, well, like, it was just so surreal. And then you get another email of your certifications, other certifications that you got to do, and this, that, and the third, and being registered and all, and I'm like, this is real. I got it. So now 2018, the end of 2018, because this was right before 2019, me coming here and or not coming here, but me. This was actually the beginning of 2019, because it's been a year and I did Couch Choice. Yeah. So God. Okay. So it was the beginning of 2019. So now I'm like, this is awesome. So then I'm doing Couch Choice Financial. So I'm helping people with private reserves accounts, investments, financial advising, as well as life insurance. And we're just pushing that, getting the commissions, and then Young Money Muggles with the YouTube. I start creating that. So as I'm creating that, um, I never forsook the foundation, which was MWR, creating wealth, uh, helping people not only get their credit together, but understanding the benefits of having a home based business. We were pushing this before COVID. Now, COVID, you have to have a home based business, because you don't have an office. You can't go to an office. And if you do go to office, even right now, like, we're at 50% occupancy for certain places and such. So the benefits, you cut off overhead costs. You cut off a lot when you have a home based business. I have VAs, I have a COO, I have a chief of staff, but that's because I'm doing other things now. I'm in real estate, I'm in e-commerce, so I'm getting more and more spread out than what I started. But the beginning, the foundation was MWR, making wealth real. That credit, getting my credit together. Like today, I got an accident. For those of you who don't know, but like, I had an accident and I had to get rent a car and all this stuff. And they were like, "Do you have a credit card to put something on?" I didn't, and I was so nervous to apply for a credit card, because I was even getting denied for secured credit cards, you guys. Okay, that's how bad my credit was. All right, they wouldn't even let me get a secured credit card and be like, "Nah, you can't." So I stopped worrying about credit cards. I just saved money. I put it in stocks. I put it in now Bitcoin. I've been doing that for a few months now. But I literally just put my money away, and then I get into MWR, and you meet like Boomy Moore and other top leader officials and people who are like, now that you save, you invest it into other opportunities. So then I started investing into other opportunities like e-commerce. I got into Amazon e-shipping. It first started off as drop shipping, so that's on you were buying stuff like on Walmart. Not even buying it. I would just copy you could copy the link from Walmart to like eBay or to your own website, sell it, and then basically buy it from Walmart with the money that the people bought from you, and then send it to them, and like being that third party, like that's what it was really in the beginning. And then it evolved and became, or at least for me, it evolved because I wanted to be more credible and more of an integrity and do things the right way. So then it evolved into Amazon e-commerce and doing Amazon FBA and now doing Amazon affiliates and having all of those things. So now I had MWR Financial. We're working the credit, we're working the tax representatives, we're helping people build their homes, helping people establish their credits, helping people get those houses, things of that sort. Thousands and thousands of background and credit and thousands of testimonials of people who are getting help. So now I move from that to, you know, all right, young money muggles, helping young people. So then from helping the young people, we're doing other things. Like I said, e-commerce. Now we're in the e-commerce field. Doing the e-commerce, I'm able to focus now fully on life insurance. So now that's a full swing. All of this has been the benefit and the help of having a home-based business. It opened the door. It literally opened the door. I started off in dysfunction. I started off in chaos. My life started off in a lot of things. Okay, and it all full circled back into uh, 7 streams, not just one way of having money. Because when that one way lost for me, when I lost everything, I lost everything because I lost my job. I had to think of I need more. I needed a different way. I needed a better way. What can I do to multiply this? What can I do to multiply my money? How can I get my money to work for me while I'm asleep? So then I got into stocks, and then I got into forex from stocks, because then it's like, all right, stocks is kind of like the mainstream when it comes to the building and the businesses making the money, and then all of that sort converting for you. But now you get into forex where you're watching the market, and you're watching how the money flows and watching the systems, and then you're able to jump in and out and such, and take money in and out for you, and then you get into Bitcoin. So it's like it begins to evolve and grow for you, and it's steps after steps after steps. It begins to be more and more. I'm an encourager at heart. I'm a life coach at heart. Like, and that was also too, that came into play too. I had people in my life that saw more in me and just blessed me. There was a guy. He's a apostle of multiple churches in Fredericksburg, and things that sort. Apostle Michael and Donna Scott. I love you guys. If you ever watch this, uh, they bought my whole coaching certificate class, like a bona fide legit class that cost thousands and thousands of dollars. He said, "Hey, look, I'm going to buy this for you because I feel as though you need this, and this would help you get to your next level." 2018, I'm in coaching class right after divorce, right after all of that. I didn't know where to go, what to do, but those coaching classes helped me, because in order to be a coach to others, I had to have a coach. So I had my coach, and she literally dug in me and talked it and just poured back grace, poured back love, poured back wisdom, poured back understanding, poured back so much to me, and said, "Hey, look, come up with a plan. Hey, what were you doing before all of this happened? What were you doing before you lost the job? What were you doing before this? What was your niche? What was your heart? What was your plans?" And I got back into it. And then from them, it I got in touch with Boomy Moore, and then it's, "Hey, I'm going to help you. What do you need?" And we're talking and collaborating. And then Young Money Muggles comes up. Young Money Muggles, talking to young people about business, finance, and lifestyle. So now I'm in business. Now I'm in finance. So that brings me to lifestyle. So we're doing lifestyle now, you guys. I'm trying to focus fully on lifestyle. So after this week, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to give you a testimonial, because we've done the credit. We're in e-commerce now. We're also helping people in real estate with tax liens, get tax liens, as well as our property management. But I am I am doing this for me right now, and I want to be a product of the product already. But I'm doing this for me, and I love it. This is what I've been drinking on right now, the detox tea. But I'm this is the private Facebook group, so I'm going to talk to you guys. I want to get into Laura Life. Okay, these are the coffee sticks that they have. I don't know if you can see it right. I'm sorry, my halo light, but the coffee. Good God, I have so much energy. Even though today was a rainy day and it was groggy later on in the afternoon, that was just because I'm learning some other things about myself. But that coffee was so beneficial in this detox tea. When you first drink it in the morning, it helps. It helps. It helps. It helps. I feel such a benefit and such a difference. They also have drink to shrink, so you can drink this. I don't want to say concoction because I don't want it to sound like it's not natural, but it's a natural drink for you to drink, and it helps you weight loss. It helps you lose pounds. I am drinking the detox tea, helping get all those toxins out. As you see, I'm sweating still right now. Like it's working. So it's I'm feeling the effects of it, and I really because I want to be true and integral to everything that I do here. So, like I said, Young Money Moguls is all things business, finance, and lifestyle. So, when it comes to your lifestyle, if your lifestyle is in order, if you're not exercising, if you're not eating healthy, if you're not going out there and taking the vitamins and applying the necessary tools for your life to prosper, then your business won't prosper. Your finances won't prosper, okay? So I'm doing what I need to. I'm taking the necessary tools, drinking the detox tea. I have the weight loss pills as well. I should have brought those on with me. But after you eat, take the weight loss pills. Drink this coffee first thing in the morning. And this is what today is almost Thursday now, and so that's like what Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh my gosh, I got three. I have a week trial thing, so I only got 3 left. But yeah, so this is like day 4, day 5 for me. It's been so beneficial. Okay, I feel the, I feel the like y'all see. I've been coming on lives more and talking more and being more open and more just it there's natural ingredients in here that are just helping you, and it's not like you're having that horrible come down and that grogginess and that just that after effects of energy drinks and stuff like my bangs. I love bang goods, but it makes my heart beat too much. It just makes me go through too much. But now, in the morning, I wake up, I have breakfast with the protein. So I have protein with vegetables. Sorry. So I have my eggs, and then I have some spinach or a salad or something like that, some fruit or something like that. And then I drink my tea and I have my coffee. I have that in the morning. I'm set, and from there, I'm like feeling ready to go, and I'm just boosted. Okay, so like we all start from somewhere, but it's our responsibility to take care of ourselves from then on. Okay, we all have our own story. We all may come from either abuse, may come from negligence, may come from whatever the case may be. But from there on, it's your responsibility to put in the work so that you're not continually being a victim and being a product of that environment. Um, you can not be that that you don't have to be that. Like that's what I'm trying to show you. You don't have to be the product of your environment. You don't have to live in poverty. When we moved here uh, from North Carolina, when I moved here from North Carolina to actually be reunited back with my family, um, there wasn't such a weight or a strain monetarily because I had stocks. I had the business on the side. I had it running and actually consistent for me now. So like even now, I have connections with New York. I have connections with. I'm a part of an economic crisis resource group in New York. So when people need help with their credit, when people need help with taxes, when people need help with financial advising, they send me their information. They send them to my way. So it all continues to help. You know, it all continues to be the basis and the foundation. But what I'm trying to say is you can't let it stay there. Okay, if you're watching this video and it's late at night and you're thinking of how you're going to get more money, you're thinking of how you're going to get yourself out there, how you're going to do it, you can't keep doing what you've been always doing. You have to do something different, okay? You have to get around mentors. You have to get around people who are doing things that you aren't doing so that you can absorb it, okay? It's like a law of osmosis. When you're around other people who are actually doing what you're trying to do, you're gonna it's gonna graft to you. And the same for the negative. If you're around people who aren't doing anything, they aren't, going out there and accomplishing their goals, they aren't going out there and actually having the discipline to, work at it every day, you're not going to be like that. You need people who are going to hold you accountable. You need to be a part of a group. You need to be a part of some type of system that is already in set. You follow the system, you follow the play, you follow the role, and there's no way you can lose, okay? There was no way there was no way, but there was how am I word how am I trying to word it? What problems happened with the Lakers way back when? It wasn't any problems with their systems, okay? It was the problems with their people. It was the problems with what Shaq, Kobe couldn't get along. That's our problem sometimes. It's an internal thing. That's what I'm trying to say. It's an internal thing. The inner me is the enemy sometimes. And when you conquer that person, when you fight that person, when you combat that person, and you discipline yourself, and you, like I say, get around people who are helping, get around people who are pushing, get around people who are motivating, get around people who are encouraging you, get connected to people who are doing something that you aren't doing. So you want to be out there making six figures, get around 6, 7 figure earners. Stop staying around people who aren't doing anything but talking you out of your dream. That's all we are. We look up, we stand around, we look up, and we wonder why we aren't somewhere. And it's because we literally are around people who are talked us out of stuff, and we aren't around people who are talking us into things, who are keeping us accountable, helping us work, helping us, pushing us. All right. I know I jump around a lot, so I'm trying to bring myself back in. But this is what happens when you're free and you're focused, and that's how I feel. It's just so, everything is just so, it started so rough for me, you guys. That's what I'm trying to show you. My life started so rough. I did not want to live. And I'm not saying network marketing changed my life, because there were so many other things, if you listened, there's so many other things that has helped my spirituality. I stayed connected to a source that is higher than me. I don't care if you don't believe in God, if you believe in the universe, if you believe in Allah, whoever. As long as you are connected to a source, as long as you're giving them gratitude, as long as you're giving them thanks, as long as you are saying, hey, thank you, Lord, for this day. Thank you for all the things that you have for me. You're speaking affirmations, and you're going out there and saying, I believe everything that you have for me. I believe that I can handle it. I believe that I am a 7, 6 figure earner. I believe that money comes with ease. I believe that money and love can marry each other and work together. Those are the things that you have to speak, okay? When you believe those things, when you speak those things, it begins to happen. We have creative power in our mouths. We have creative power in our tongues. And we can use it to build up or to tear down. We can change the trajectory of our lives. We don't have to stay that way. Like I said, I got into network marketing. I got into MWR. That was what helped me make wealth real. MWR Financial. That's what helped me. I got into that, and from there, it just went more and more and more. It opened the door. Having a home-based business opens the door, you guys. So with all that being said, if you want to be connected, if you want to see more of what we're doing in Young Money Muggles, go ahead and click one of the links in our bio. Click in it, and you can stay connected. Stay connected to the group. I'm excited, you guys. I'm excited. I look forward to me coming back on to talk about Laura Life even more. We're going to see what this happens. Like I said, I'm loving this detox tea. I'm trying to cut back in certain areas in my life. And this is just one way that's going to definitely help. I believe in holistic living. And this is something that, like I said, I haven't had any side effects, any feelings, anything of that sort. Arabica coffee. I love it. Okay. All natural coffee. Oh, It's made with mushrooms, so it's so many good. Okay. All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected. Subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching this video. For all of you who have tuned in this long.